This is Satyaganthi, Assistant Professor, Department of Physical Education, JJ College of Arts and Science, Autonomous, Pudukkottai. Now, I am going to share about for sports biomechanics. What is the sports biomechanics? I given the definitions. I given the define. It is the study of structures and functions of biological system by means of method of mechanics. Next one, importance of biomechanics in the field of physical education and sports. Importance of biomechanics in the field of physical education and sports. Improving teaching, improving the performance, preventing injury, improvement of training, improving teaching and learning process. I given the next one, I given the pictures. I given the fixer, flexions, extensions, abduction, adductions. You all know well flexion, extensions, abductions, adductions. You know that. The second one, I given the meaning of biomechanics and its improving in physical education and sports. Meaning of biomechanics and its important in physical education and sports. Meaning of biomechanics. Biomechanics is not kinesiology, which is often another name for physical education. There are numerous titles of books that are confusing, especially since the title suggests more than the definitions of biomechanics that we started earlier. Example includes but are limited to fundamental of sports biomechanics, the mechanics of athletics, scientific principle of coaching. Role of biomechanics. Biomechanics provide informations not only for analysis of motions but for understanding muscles use, force action of the body, issues of motor control, and the interactions between any one body part and the body as a whole. Impulse. What is a impulse? Impulse is nothing but force is not applied to object instantaneously. When they run, your feet are in contact with the ground for a period of time. This means ground reaction force is applied period of time. Impulse. Impulse formula given the chart. Impulse force into time. Force into time. Impulse is also a change in movement. Impulse is also a change in movement. Impulse, force, time. I given the flow charts. The second one, lever. The second one, lever. Lever, there are three type of lever. There are three type of lever. The first class lever, second class lever, third class lever. The first class lever nothing but fulcrum. The fulcrum is in the middle of the effort under the load. The fulcrum is in the middle of the effort under the load. Second class lever. Second class lever. The load is in the middle between the fulcrum and the effect. The load is in the middle between the fulcrum and the effort. Third class lever. Third class lever. The effort is in the middle between the fulcrum and the load. The effort is in the middle between the fulcrum and the load. Load. Load called can L. A residual force that is to be overcome by a mechanics is called the load. Effort. Effort means E. An external force applied to a simple mechanics to overcome a load is called effort. fulcrum pivot F. Fulcrum pivot call F. The point on which something turn off is supported. Mechanical advantage. Mechanical advantage MA. The short form MA. MA mean mechanical advantage. The radio of load to overcome the magnitude of effort, where MA is nothing but the radio of the effect arm to the load arm, which we would be discussing in the class of lever. MA effort arm, load arm, effort arm, the distance between the effort and the fulcrum pivot. Load arm, the distance between the load, the distance between the load and the fulcrum pivot. Next, I given the flow chart for the class 1, class 2, class 3. Class 1, first of all, load, second, fulcrum, third, force for the class 1. Class 2, given the features, first one, fulcrum, the center one, load, last one, force, the second class. Third class, first one, fulcrum, second one, force, last one, load. And lever attached for fulcrum, many types. To fulcrum, beam, effort, load. They given the features for fulcrum green color. The load is the red color. I mark it here and there. Okay, the next feature, lever of human body. Lever of human body. First class lever, second class lever, third class lever. First class lever, I mentioned the for neck bone to nose bone, the center point. You mention it. First one, load, fulcrum, force. I given the load, fulcrum, load, load, force, load, fulcrum. The second class lever, given the leg bone. Then third class lever for arm bones, arm bones. The Newton law, effort, fulcrum, load. Law of inertia, Newton law, the first one. Law of inertia, law of acceleration, law of reaction. Law of inertia. Newton's first law of inertia state the object tend to resident change in their state of motions. An object in motions will tend to be stay in the motions, and an object at rest will tend to stay at the rest unless access upon by the force. Example skirters. Example skirter. Law of acceleration. Newton's second law explains how much motions are force reactions. The acceleration tendency of an object to change speed or directions on object experience is proportional to the size of the force and inversely proportional to the object mass. Given the formula F equal to ma. Example, when the ball is thrown or kicked. When the ball is thrown and kicked. Law of reaction. Law of reaction, the third law state what that for every action force there is an equal and opposite reaction force. This means that force do not act alone but acute in equal and opposite pair between integration bodies. Example, the force created by a player's legs pushing. Newton law of motions. The first law, second law, third law. The first law, the body is motion remained in motions, or a body at rest remained at rest unless exerted upon by the force. Second law, force equal mass time acceleration. Given the formula F is equal to m into a. F is equal to m into a. Third law, for every action there is an equal and opposite reactions. Next one, I given the next pictures, walking of biomechanics. I given the walking, how to walk, how to run, how to walks. Here given the pictures. Thank you. The biomechanics overall. Thank you, students. Thank you very much.